Tariffs worked, Trump wouldn't have to gaslight the American people about who paid the tariff in the first place, and you wouldn't have to pivot to the stock market every single time we try to bring up the on-the-ground effects, the unpredictability that tariffs create. Think about the long-term effects for my generation. Can you sit here and look me in the eye and say that tariffs are not inflationary?
Are you kidding? Right now, everything's working because the market...
Oh, bring up the market one more time, pivot right back.
Oh my God, you guys, you're not gonna believe what I just watched. Adam Mockler absolutely destroyed Kevin O'Leary and the MAGA talking points on live TV. It was brutal. Let's roll it and break down how Adam Mockler did it.
Joining us at the table is Adam Mockler, Midas Touch's Gen Z creator. This is the moment, the type of dichotomy that I think is playing out here. On the one hand, it's completely uncontroversial for these suspects, because there were two of them, to be apprehended, deported if they were here in the country illegally. But on the other hand, Americans are also saying we want this to be more targeted. But the Trump administration is definitely going to use this incident to pursue what they're doing right now, which is mass deportations.
Yeah, first of all, the shooting is absolutely horrific, and every American should be okay with deporting people who are criminals and who are dangerous and here illegally. But that is not what the Trump administration is prioritizing. They have reallocated funds meant for the deportation of criminals to the deportation of farm workers. Farmers have been complaining about this directly to Donald Trump, to people who are showing up to immigration hearings. They show up to their hearing and they get directly targeted. ICE is camping there. Or what about the 82-year-old who his family was told he was dead and he was found in Argentina? Trump's popularity on immigration has dropped 10 points over the past few months, and 70% of Americans want him to focus more on lowering prices, but he's deporting farm workers, enacting more tariffs. It's not popular.
Here, Adam Mockler completely flips the script on Kevin O'Leary. Adam says, of course, deport violent criminals. Everyone agrees on that. But Donald Trump isn't focused there. Instead, Trump's administration is going after farm workers, people showing up for immigration hearings, even elderly immigrants. And that's not just Adam Mockler making stuff up. Farmers themselves have been begging Trump not to deport the very workers they rely on. Now Kevin O'Leary tries to play the middle ground, like, oh, maybe we should work something out for longtime workers. But notice what he doesn't do. He never answers Adam Mockler's actual point. Why are resources being taken away from targeting dangerous criminals to instead punish the people who are literally feeding America? That's the key critique Adam Mockler lands here. Trump's policy isn't about safety, it's about political theater. Kevin O'Leary has no answer, and Adam Mockler makes that crystal clear.
And is there more targeting that could happen here that is actually responsive to what Americans say that they want?
I agree with this narrative between those that have committed crimes, documented crimes multiple times, versus a farm worker who's been here for 20 years illegally, but is maintained his ability to work and provide productivity to the economy. This is a very delicate situation. And I think it's threading the needle for Trump because he said the same thing. Look, if you've worked on a farm and you've been, haven't been charged with anything and you're providing productivity to the economy, maybe we should work something out there. And this is where I think the challenge is. You talked about his polls dropping on this. I kind of agree with this. If you're a criminal and you've been charged, you're out of here. I think everybody agrees with that. But if you've actually come into the country and been here a long time, had children here that are American citizens, and you provided productivity to the economy, and you're supporting farming, which is one of the categories or sectors where there's a lot of these people, I kind of get it.
And just to be clear, I mean, I think that it's farm workers, but people who work in restaurants, yes, household, domestic employees, they're also they're inputting productivity into this economy, and they're actually maybe a larger chunk of the undocumented.
Well, you have to understand, Kristi Noem is giving a pathway for the illegals to become citizens. They're saying, here's $1,000. Deport yourself, come back in the right way. Look, my husband had to do it. My husband had to wait. We waited 9 years for his green card to become, and he just got naturalized last November, right? So why do we have to wait in line? Why do these guys just bum rush in and get all our benefits and take from our blue cities? My big problem with Los Angeles is that you have local mayors there giving the heads up to communities saying, hey, there's an ICE raid coming. You better leave and let's get the rioters in.
I have
That's
a bigger
not
problem
what
with
an elected official should do.
In not detaining or abiding by the detainer when someone's been convicted of a crime. I think they should at least cooperate with that and have that carve out, as you mentioned earlier. I think that carve out makes a lot more sense.
I want to respond to Angie saying this gives a path. What this does is disincentivize people from going to the courthouse and following the proper procedures. And part of the reason they're being so aggressive is because of this arbitrary quota set by Stephen Miller, 3,000 a day, meaning people who are going to courthouses, being detained, being deported. Again, workers, people who are contributing to this country. So do you think it's okay when somebody who is following the proper processes is then kind of like hoodwinked?
Not if they came in here illegally in the first place, right?
It's not
Why didn't they
illegal if
apply?
They came through asylum process.
But that's the thing.
That's
That's
not
the
illegal.
thing.
Well,
They're
that's where it's
criminalizing asylum. That's what's happened, right?
Yes.
Trump is criminalized.
Oh, no.
Yes, actually. Trump has criminalized the legal process of asylum. Basically, if you come here and you were abiding, right, you're showing up to court because you're following the rules.
Republicans. I'm not worried about
We are
it.
2 weeks from the new deadline for nations to make trade deals or face new tariffs. And the Commerce Secretary is once again promising he's got the goods.
Oh, they're going to love the deals that President Trump and I are doing. I mean, they're just going to love them. This is going to be, the next 2 weeks are going to be weeks for the record books. President Trump is going to deliver for the American people.
The president has been saying he has 200 deals ready to sign, but the truth is the results have been limited at best. And the amount of teasing is a trend.
You're going to see over the next month or so, we're going to roll out dozens of deals. Oh, there are so many coming. And you're going to see deal after deal. This is going to start coming next week and the week after and the week after. We've got lots of them in the hopper. We're going to announce a whole bunch of deals over the next week or so.
Are you confident we can get these the big ones, the big deals done?
I have them done. The next 2 weeks are going to be weeks for the record books.
No, that was just a couple days ago. So far, only 4 trade agreements have been announced. Kevin, when are the deals coming?
Bassett tempered the enthusiasm from Japan over the weekend at the American Pavilion, and he spoke again this morning about this. He referenced, I want quality deals, not fast deals.
Do you mind if I play it? We have the soundbite. Let's play
let's listen
Scott
to
Bassett.
it. Yeah.
Mr. Secretary, August 1st is a week from Friday, I think, and I think that's on everyone's mind. Any progress that you can report on some of our big trading partners?
Look, Joe, talks are moving along, but the important thing here is the quality of the deal, not the timing of the deals. You know, again, we're proceeding at pace with the negotiations, but we're not going to rush for the sake of doing deals.
How can you say we should pay attention to the quality rather than the speed when the entire promise was 90 deals in 90 days? They were going to get it done fast, reshape the global order, and Kevin says the stock market thinks these tariffs are going to work, but no, the stock market doesn't believe Trump. When he announced the Liberation Day tariffs,
It's an all-time high
the
today.
stock market immediately dropped when he announced Liberation Day
Where
tariffs.
are we today?
After he vacillated, people don't believe him.
All-time
Countries
high
don't
in
believe
all-time
him
history.
because nobody believes
Today,
that he's being
all-time
serious.
high.
I think you guys are saying the same thing, just by the way.
All-time high.
I mean,
in
they're
history.
I
I mean,
think
all-time high.
his
You
point
can't
is that
debate
They're at an all-time
yeah,
high
I
because
know.
nobody
His
believes
point
him,
is
Kevin.
that they're at an all-time high because nobody believes Trump.
Nobody
Every
actually-
index.
Seriously.
Because
Yeah.
he keeps moving the goalposts. I'm so glad you played the footage. I was literally laughing watching Howard just like going every few weeks promising all these deals. And Besson should have sent that, and shouldn't have been an appearance, should have sent that as a text message directly to Howard Lutnick, because that was clearly what that guy needs to hear. But overall, the reason why he's not getting these deals, I just think we got to talk about the big picture here. If you're a foreign government, ally or adversary, or counterpart, whatever, are you going to make a deal with Donald Trump? And how can you believe that the U.S. is not going to have a sporadic change 3 years from now? I think Trump has eroded global trust in the American economy and American deal
You
making.
mean the all-time high market ever in history?
It's high
in
because
America?
they don't
The
believe.
all-time high.
They think Trump is going
Like
to chicken
never
out.
been
It's
higher,
already
never been
past
worth
that
more,
time.
never been more successful, never.
When the
And
Liberation-
it's
It's in
eroded
spite
what
of-
trust. All-time high today at 4:30 in history, never worth more. What are you talking about?
Well, look,
Well, let's
the
see what
American-
happens on August 1st
the-
when he announces
the American
potentially up to
people
50% in
are
tariffs.
also-
It's up
And then moves
down.
the
The American people are also in a situation that you're kind of describing, which is that Trump says, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and they say, don't believe you, sorry. I mean, is he just sort of, the economy is supposed to be his biggest issue. It's the thing that he did the best on in his first term.
Yep.
Now he's getting really low marks on it because of this
No.
tariff issue.
No, he's completely turned around the Biden-Harris economy. Look, when you have America First trade deals, that by definition means that someone's going to come second. So let's take Japan. They just had their upper house elections where they
can
lost.
I just quibble? Like, I have to quibble with that one too, because the idea that trade is a zero-sum game is not. No, not everybody agrees with that, okay? That might be Trump's view of it, but that is not the view of trade when you look across the history of globalization. We have won, and so have other countries. It's not a zero-sum game.
But here's the thing, Japan can't make these deals when they have a snap election coming up in September, right? Right now, these deals do not benefit them because it benefits America. America first, Japanese second. So that's why all of this takes time. It's
Here's
not
what
just
Americans say about all of this. Is Trump focusing enough on the economy or on tariffs? They say too much on tariffs, 61%. The majority of Americans oppose tariffs on imported goods, just about the same percentage, 60%. That's a pretty lopsided assessment of that particular issue, and this idea that Trump is not focusing enough on the thing that he was elected on, which is the cost of their daily lives.
I have a huge problem here with this argument. Your investment account is worth more tonight at 4:30 than it's ever been in history.
Kevin, you got to look outside of your own perspective.
No,
Most
I don't,
Americans are not heavily invested in the stock market.
Kevin,
Most Americans
thank goodness
are
I'm
barely
here
making ends
to
meet.
bring reality to you.
Okay, wonderful. You're doing really well. You're heavily invested in the stock market.
No, every American is.
Every American is.
It's high today, but the stock market has been existing in the volatility of Trump's mind. What he decides to do one day shifts and moves the markets. The sentiment is everywhere. The uncertainty, you talk to any actual investment bank or someone who's actually making long-term decisions, they can't. Our foreign adversaries, our counterparts, they can't. They don't know whether or not in the next 3 years, J.D. Vance will tear up all
Whatever
these
he's doing it, keep doing it.
So actually, Kevin,
it's working.
You know, I was going to just say that very thing, which is that it seems like what you really like about what Trump is doing right now is that he's not doing what he said he's going to do.
Yeah. Good point.
Abby, in the end of the day,
I mean, at the end of the day, that is what has gotten that's what's gotten us where we are.
Oh, no. I don't want to talk stock. I mean, I want to talk about the American at the kitchen table putting their child.
Are you going to say that
tariffs
tariffs
consumer sentiment is down?
All I'm saying is this tariff stuff and all this narrative, it's going to end up being reciprocal tariffs between countries, equal tariffs between EU, Canada, Australia, India, Vietnam, Indonesia. All we are saying is let's make it equal. And I think the market believes that. You may not, but meanwhile, the index that matters, the wealth of an American savings account, you can't win your argument tonight at 4:30. I'm sorry. It's already been decided by fact.
Adam, last word.
You lost.
If tariffs worked, Trump wouldn't have to gaslight the American people about who paid the tariff in the first place, and you wouldn't have to pivot to the stock market every single time we try to bring up the on-the-ground effects, the unpredictability that tariffs create. Think about the long-term effects for my generation. Can you sit here and look me in the eye and say that tariffs are not inflationary?
Are you kidding? Right now, everything's working because the market.
Oh, bring up the market one more time. Pivot right back.
The market is the American economy.
It was a super simple question.
Which is?
Tariffs inflationary or not?
Not yet, there haven't been.
I know, but are they inflationary?
2.7%.
Data from June shows that prices have gone up. There's a little bit of inflation, which informed Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve.
Eggs are down 33%.
Let me finish my point. It informed Jerome Powell's decision to hold off on cutting interest rates. Exactly. People are unable to buy homes because mortgages are far more expensive.
You guys hate numbers.
No, I don't hate numbers. I actually love numbers.
You hate numbers.
Bring up the market.
I bring you numbers.
I'll say something positive about Trump. I'll say something positive about his tariff policy.
Last word, Anna.
In his first term, he was way smarter about tariffs. They were targeted. They were smart. They were so good that Biden came in, he kept them in place, and even expanded upon them. But what Trump did by slapping on these insanely high tariffs, this like coercive thing with every country we do trade with, think about it. If I were one of those countries, how about we band together and refuse to make good deals with Trump?
All right, this last part really shows how weak Kevin O'Leary's argument is. Adam Mockler asks him a yes or no question. Are tariffs inflationary? And Kevin O'Leary can't answer. He dodges, he talks about eggs, he throws out random numbers, and then, like always, he hides behind the stock market. Now let's be clear, tariffs are inflationary. They're taxes on imports. Companies pay more, and then they pass that cost to us. Higher prices at the store, higher costs for families. This isn't even up for debate. And to prove it, let's check out this quick news report that shows exactly how much Trump's tariffs cost the average American household.
Trade war is finally easing, but it will still impact American families. I'm Mike Brookbank, and this is Morning Rush. According to new research published by the Budget Lab at Yale University, Trump's 2025 tariffs will still lift prices by more than 2% in the short run, costing the typical middle-class household more than $2,200 per year. That's down from the group's mid-April cost estimate of around $3,400 a year.
See, that's the reality Kevin O'Leary doesn't want to admit. Real research, real numbers tariffs made life more expensive for everyday people. We're not talking about some abstract Wall Street theory here. We're talking about families paying over $2,000 more a year because of Donald Trump's tariffs. That's groceries, that's gas, that's rent money gone. And the worst part? Adam Mockler is pointing this out in real time, calmly and directly, while Kevin O'Leary is supposed to be the business guy, and he looks totally lost. He can't even admit a basic economic fact that economists across the spectrum agree on. That's why Adam Mockler dominates here. He's young, but he's prepared, and he refuses to let Kevin O'Leary wiggle out of the question. This is what makes the debate so clear. Adam Mockler is talking about real people and real struggles, and Kevin O'Leary is stuck defending Trump with empty slogans and stock market numbers that don't help most Americans. One side is reality, the other side is spin. So yeah, this was the knockout moment. Adam Mockler stayed sharp, stayed cool, and exposed how weak the MAGA economic argument really is. But what do you think? Did Adam Mockler completely cook Kevin O'Leary here? Or do you think Kevin O'Leary somehow got away with dodging? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.